Born in 1866, Enrico Minetti was one of the many figures in the Italian business world of the late 19th centuries who quickly developed a passion for automobiles. He was a manager of the Pirelli Tires Company, organizer of cycling races, founder of the magazine Il Velocipede, the Bone Shaker, and members of the TCCI, the Italian Cycle Touring Club, since its founding in 1894. In 1899, he organized the first Brescia Motor Rally, where 20 cars participated in the event, starting from the Viale Re Buffone in Brescia, the same boulevard from which the Mille Miglia will start 28 years later. That same year, Minetti organized the Brescia-Cremona-Mantua-Peschiera-Brescia race. This was followed by the Brescia Rally in 1900, with its record-breaking 3 kilometers circuit. Also the first Giro d'Italia, announced by the Corriere della Sera newspaper in 1901, covering a distance of 1,642 kilometers, the 1,500-kilometer Turin competition in 1905, as well as the Brescia circuit in 1906. He was among the first to propose the construction of a national racetrack in Italy, and he also organized the first car show in Milan in 1901. His friendship with Vincenzo Lancia began on the racing circuits, and Mr. Lancia soon recognized Minetti's business talents. At the time, Lancia was a small company headquartered in Turin and lacking of a sales network, while Fiat already had a network of Italian and foreign branches managed or controlled by the company. Mr. Minetti set out to launch the new Turin brand, discussed his proposal with Mr. Lancia many times, and in 1910 he decided to leave his position as sales manager at Pirelli to establish his own company in 1911, the Agenzia commerciale dell'automobile Minetti. The agency would handle the sale and the service of Lancia vehicles. It was the first example in Italy of a private sales agency entirely dedicated to the automobiles. Minetti chose an elegant building near the central Piazza Castello in Milan, the former site of the Olympia Theatre, as his headquarters. The offices were located on the second floor, while the workshop was located at the rear of the building. Within a few years, with the World War I in the midst of the conflict, Minetti organized 4 agencies across Italy: Milan, Bologna, Florence, and Rome. These agencies offered pre- and post-sales assistance to the customers, along with additional services such as a workshop, spare part warehouse, car wash, and lubrication. The Minetti agency was the first example of a sales network in Italian automobile sector and became so efficient that in the early 20s, after the opening of offices in Genoa, Padua, and Bergamo, the Minetti brand was associated with the Lancia brand, where Lancia was synonymous with quality and prestige of his car, and Minetti with quality and efficiency in customer service. Furthermore, this was most likely also the first example of co-branding in Italy. When waiting times for delivery of a vehicle were very long, Minetti's customers trusted the Cavaliere Enrico, who promised certain delivery dates, which were kept and then confirmed by phone. And for some special customers, delivery could even take place at their doorstep or in front of the hotel where they're temporarily staying. With the arrival of the Lambda model on the market in 1923, Minetti convinced Giovanni Boneschi, a small and still unknown Milanese coach builder, to build exclusive luxury vehicles for his refined clientele. Minetti had long boasted prominent figures from the glamorous world among his clients, such as the tenor Caruso, Gabriele D'Annunzio the poet, the Dukes of Modron, Count Laurani, and so on. These partnerships soon became a success. Milan's most prominent families attended opera premieres at the Teatro La Scala in Lancia Coupé de Ville or Fox Cabriolet, bodied by Boneschi, and sold by Minetti, who had been sponsoring the evenings program for several years. This too was a complete novelty. Lancia did not advertise on the press at all, and Minetti reserved the exclusive right, featuring the Lancia and the Minetti names combined in various magazines. In late 20s, Cavalier Minetti decided to enter the foreign market and opened a sales office in New York, becoming the first agent to operate on behalf of the Turin-based company in the vast American territory, and the first Italian to personally operate in this sector in the United States of America. An elegant building overlooking 6th Avenue at the corner of 5th Street was chosen as the location for the office and the showroom. Shortly thereafter, he was joined by his son Eugenio, also passionate about engines and, like many young men of his generation, about airplanes. At just 20 years old, Eugenio took over this branch of the company exclusively. Immediately after the Wall Street crisis, the young Minetti began printing a prestigious catalog advertising the Lancia di Lambda 8-cylinder, the new model created by Lancia for the American market, in 12 different versions with bodies by Castagna of Milan and Pininfarina of Turin. During this period, Eugenio Minetti assumed U.S. representation for both the Castagna brand, which disappeared from the U.S. market following the stock exchange crisis, and the newly formed Pininfarina body shop, whose founder was eager to make a name for itself on the American market. Eugenio also participated in several American auto shows. More than actual auto shows, there were exhibitions held in those years at the Commodore Hotel in New York on 42th Street, not far from the Grand Central Railway Station. The Lancias, displayed alongside major American brands such as Duesenberg, Marmon, and Studebaker, had a great success. In 1930, Lancia Company, having established itself on the national and international markets thanks to the Lambda model, became a stock company. The company structure included 2 shareholders from Milan, one of whom was Minetti with a minority stake, and 2 shareholders from Turin, one of whom was Vincenzo Lancia with the majority stakes. During the 30s, Minetti also was one of the protagonists at the Villa Olmo Elegance Concours, introducing several one-off cars that achieved many prizes. Following the sanctions imposed on Italy by the League of the Nations in 1936 due to Italian aggression against Ethiopia, Eugenio permanently closed the New York office. Returning to Italy in 1937, Eugenio founded the Scuderia Ambrosiana, named after the patron saint of Milan, together with Gigi Villoresi, Giovanni Lurani Cernuschi, and Franco Cortese. As the 4 founders were also racing drivers, they participated in numerous races in various categories aboard Maserati 4CM, single-seaters, and Lancia Aprilia and Fiat 6-cylinder sport cars. The team took second place overall in the 1937 and in the 1938 editions of the Targa Florio, winning the 1939 edition. Minetti and Villoresi often competed with Lancia Aprilias bodied by Zagato, the young Milanese coach builder who was a pioneer in the use of aluminium, and equipped with an engine with a special head and 2 carburetors developed by the Pagani workshop, the team's official preparer. Eugenio Minetti combined car racing with his passion for airplanes, and in 1938 he joined the Italian crew that, aboard a Caproni 310, attempted to break the London-Cape Town record set the previous year by the British pilots Claston and Kirby Green in 40 hours and 5 minutes. Unfortunately, due to a violent sandstorm near Tripoli, the plane attempted an emergency landing but ended up rolling over a dune, sustaining irreparable damages. The crew escaped unharmed. Following the death of his father in 1939 and the approach of the World War II, Eugenio Minetti was forced to concentrate his activity on his 2 dealerships in Milan and Bergamo. In 1940, he participated in the Mille Miglia with an Aprilia Sport, and his friend Villoresi with an Astura Sport, bodied by Colli both. Unfortunately, Villoresi never started, and Minetti was forced to retire due to a breakdown. At the end of the year, he sold his father's block of shares. Enlisted in the Italian Royal Air Force in 1941, Eugenio was sent to the African front, returning from there in the difficult summer of 1943. Following the armistice on September 8th, he was forced, as a pilot officer, to choose a side, surrender himself to the German occupiers, or join in the new Italian fascist Air Force. So, he took off his uniform and fled to Switzerland with his wife. Upon returning to Milan in the summer of 1945, he found the city and his dealership devastated. He therefore reopened only the sale office on the second floor of the building in Largo Cairoli and resumed serious racing with the Scuderia Ambrosiana, winning the Modena circuit with the Lancia Sport bodied by Colli in 1946. Entering the 1947 Mille Miglia, he finished fourth overall, driving a Cisitalia 202 SMM, assisted by his Strauss mechanic Piero Facetti. In late 1947, Arturo Lancia, Lancia General Director since 1944, decided to revoke the sale concession from Minetti and hand it over to Vincenzo Miglietti, brother of the company president, as part of a general restructuring of the sale network. Minetti, incredulous, took the company to the court. Meanwhile, he managed to obtain a sale license from Studebaker, the American brand, wishing to proceed in his career as a car dealer. Unfortunately, 6 years later, he lost the case in the Milan court. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share this video.